Baltimore Ravens may have found exactly what their pass game was missing. On day 2 of training camp, rookie wide receiver Jacoby Lane made the catch that everybody is talking about. The Ravens defense finally started taking the ball away, and several young pass catchers made a name for themselves. But while those players were making noise, one of the Ravens' most important positional battles right now remains completely unknown. Zay Flowers, Roquan Smith, and Derrick Henry gave us several clues on who this team is trying to become. My name is Sutton, and you're watching the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Let's get into everything that happened in Ravens training camp in day 2. What's going on, Rain Gang? Welcome back to the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, where we cover the Baltimore Ravens here every single day. And before we get into day 2 of training camp, please be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Day 2 of Ravens training camp gave us multiple storylines. Like I said at the top of the episode, Jacoby Lane gave us the catch of the entire training camp thus far. The defense forced its first interceptions in training camp. The offensive line competition remains wide open. And we had some of Baltimore's leaders explain exactly where this team is trying to go. But let's start with the rookie. Jacoby Lane made the offensive play of the day. During 7-on-7 work, Lamar Jackson threw a high pass down the middle of the field. Jacoby Lane climbed over the coverage, extended his full frame, and secured the football in traffic. And this was not a routine catch versus just a backup DB. Jacoby Lane made that play with Marlon Humphrey and Malachi Starks in the area. That's a third rounder going up over 2 former first rounders to make a big play. And that matters. Jacoby Lane is a 6'4" wide receiver out of USC, where his main selling point was being that receiver who had a huge catch radius where you can just throw it to him even if he's not wide open. And on Thursday, Lamar Jackson tested that theory and Jacoby Lane delivered. The Ravens' official practice report described Jacoby Lane's catch as a direct display of Jacoby Lane's catch radius. But Jesse Minter then explained that talent alone will not earn the rookie the role of wide receiver 3. Minter said that confidence has to come from stacking days, day after day, play after play, and he has to earn Lamar Jackson's trust. Well, let me tell you one thing. Jacoby Lane definitely took a step in the right direction in earning Lamar Jackson's trust, because Jacoby Lane does not need to become the Ravens wide receiver 1 immediately. Zay Flowers already occupies that role. The Ravens need Jacoby Lane to prove that whenever Lamar Jackson throws him the ball and he's covered, he can come down with it. Basically prove you are a contested catch guy. And that is what's been missing from the Ravens offense for so many years. Because Zay Flowers can create separation with speed and quickness, Rashad Bateman wins with his route running, and Tez Walker's speed can easily stretch the field. But Jacoby gives the Ravens a different type of target, because he can potentially still win even when the defender is attached. We saw this a lot at USC. And while one catch does not win him the starting job, it does give Lamar Jackson, at the very least, a reason to go back to him tomorrow in training camp. And Jacoby Lane was not the only young pass catcher that stood out today. After a very frustrating of training camp day 1, Matthew Hibner, that's right, the rookie tight end, he had 5 catches today. So he definitely bounced back in day 2. That included multiple contested catches and a one-handed catch on a throw that was behind him. So after having a bad day 1 with a couple of bobbles and drops, Matthew Hibner bounced back in a big way today. You also had rookie tight end Josh Cuevas taking a short completion over the middle of the field and getting into the end zone with it. Rookie wide receiver Elijah Surratt made a sliding catch today, so that's good news. And then Tez Walker, the wide receiver 3 as of right now, made the longest play of the day on offense. Reading the report, it says Walker outran Nate Wiggins across the field on an intermediate crossing route, accelerated up the sideline, ran through an attempted arm tackle from Marlon Humphrey, and beat Malachi Starks to the end zone. And this does not surprise me. Remember what I said, Tez Walker stretches the field. In case you didn't know this, I don't know who needs to hear this, but Devontae Walker, bar none, is faster than any other player on the offense. As a matter of fact, Devontae Walker is faster than any other player on the team, metric-wise, outside of Nate Wiggins, who he just beat here on this route. He outran Nate Wiggins, the fastest guy on the team. So he might have snatched Nate Wiggins' chain as the fastest player on the Ravens. So after pretty much every rookie had their moment today, it's safe to say that I'm comfortable with the Ravens betting on Tez Walker, Jacoby Lane, Elijah Surratt, Matthew Hibner, and Josh Cuevas. If you disagree and you think we still need to go out and get Stephon Diggs or Keenan Allen or whoever else, that's fine. Let me know down below in the comments. Second biggest takeaway of day 2 of training camp. The Ravens defense finally created its first turnovers. After the offense controlled much of day 1, the defense did respond on Thursday. Tyler Huntley began the session with 3 straight completions, but later in the practice, he threw 2 back-to-back interceptions. Chidobe Awuzie recorded the first one on a play where Tez Walker actually ended up slipping on his route, and Cheeto was right there to clean it up with the interception. The second pick was where Tyler Huntley tried to throw a pass over the middle off of his back foot, and safety Keandre Jackson ended up stepping in front and picking him off. And that's big for Keandre Jackson because he's fighting for a role on this roster, and I think special teams could definitely get him there at this point, if anything. In more rookie news, second-round rookie Zion Young spent significant time in the backfield today and even registered what would be a sack. And Jesse Minter pushed back against the idea that this guy can only stop the run. He thinks that he is a viable rusher of the passer as well. So look out for that come preseason. Tavius Robinson had another good day in camp. And Kamon Rucker even hit the edge and got a sack today. While the Ravens work without Travis Jones and John Jenkins, Broderick Washington Jr. also had himself a sack today. You also had late round draft pick defensive tackle Rayshon Benny getting what would have been an interception, but it bounced off of his hands and into the hands of 7th round draft pick Evan Bjornson, the offensive lineman. The third point I want to make, who is winning the center competition? And the answer is, drumroll please, we still do not have an answer. And Danny Pinter took the first team reps as the starting center on days 1 and 2. It doesn't mean that Ethan Pozick has lost the job, he's out of it or anything like that, because Jesse Minter and this entire coaching staff continues to reiterate that this is any man's job to win. Look, the fact of the matter is we are going to have to wait until we see some actual padded practices to know who is the best option at center. First round rookie Venga Ioane continues to receive some individual help during practice. Footage showed offensive line coach Dwayne Ledford working one-on-one with Venga Ioane, which is a good sign for me. They did the same thing at Venga Ioane's pro day. So it's got to hit a little different going from the pro day where you weren't sure if he was going to be the one drafted to now he's actually in Baltimore and they're working together. And much like the other offensive line positions, we're going to have to wait until the pads come on to really assess him. Number 4, a couple of the Ravens spoke after this practice, and here is some of what they said. Jesse Minter made it clear that young players earn their keep by consistent performance. Minter also provided an injury update on the defensive line. Amdi Matabike did practice for the second consecutive day, but he received a lot of one-on-one training, wasn't really working with the rest of the guys. They're still trying to slowly but surely ramp him up. Jesse Minter said Travis Jones and John Jenkins could potentially return to practice by the end of next week. Zay Flowers talked about how he loves the amount of movement and just multiplicity that this team has under Declan Doyle. And I think it's going to be really hard for defenders to identify Zay Flowers' role on this offense on any given down, because you're going to be able to line him up outside, put him in motion, and of course he's going to be a big factor on play action plays as well. Roquan Smith's interview was really just him bigging up Trenton Simpson. Trenton Simpson made one of Thursday's most physical plays when he shut down Justice Hill in the open field, and it really feels like Roquan Smith is excited to play alongside him coming up in this 2026 season, at least until Teddy Buchanan heals. Finally, Derrick Henry addressed his conditioning, his diet, and retirement. Derrick Henry said he's not considering retirement right now, saying that he still very much so loves the game of football, and until he does not anymore, he will continue to suit up. So the Ravens will not treat Derrick Henry like he's some ceremonial veteran. No, they're still going to work him. But the larger question is, how will Declan Doyle utilize Derrick Henry? More snaps under center for Lamar could lead to more opportunities and big chunk plays for Derrick Henry in a couple different ways too. So Henry does not sound like a player preparing for some sort of farewell season in the next 1, 2, maybe even 3 years. He sounds like a player preparing for another championship run. In closing, day 2 gave the Ravens exactly what they needed. The rookie wide receiver made the catch of the practice. Their young tight ends became involved. Vontez Walker created an explosive touchdown. The defense forced his first interceptions. The young pass rushers found the backfield consistently, and the veteran leaders reinforced the direction of this coaching staff. Let me know down below in the comments which day 2 development matters most to you, and make sure you subscribe for the next Ravens training camp update. But until then, my name is Sutton. This is the Purple Rain Podcast. We'll catch you guys in the next video, and may purple rain.